All right, fair use disclaimer. It's your brother Rum. You're back on another lesson. Shalom, shalom. We'll start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Waha, Rakakwadash, Barakathe Yahweh, Barakathe Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 men of the Lord. You see on the highways and byways prophesying in the name and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, also in the correct doctrine. Also, on the center, shalom to the one-third men, women, and children that will escape the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai by their faith. We got another lesson I'm going to bring out through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. As we have always known that Esaw has been in rulership, in power. A lot of our people try to ignore the fact that this man is Esaw. The so-called white man is the Edomites, according to the Bible. But they've been in power, they've been in rulership for a long time in our eyes. But the point is that they've made themselves a god because of their money and the power they have with their military might. And they don't see that they are the problems of the earth. And that's the reason why the Lord is puffing them up with great pride. Scripture tell you in Proverbs that pride go before destruction. And we're seeing this man built up with pride on another level. And we know that this time is near for his fall. So let's get right into these videos and hear some scriptures, and Lord willing to be edifying.
Middle passage, white people. Slavery, white people. Jim Crow, white people. Lynchings, white people. Trail of Tears, white people. Wounded Knee, white people. Asian internment camps, white people. The vast majority of gun violence, white people. You see a trend? January 6th, white people. Ahmaud Arbery, 3 white guys. George Floyd, white guys. The felon in the White House, a white man. You see a trend? But somehow, the white man has convinced stupid, uneducated, trailer park trash, 3-teeth inbreds, white supremacists, Triple K members, that the brown people picking your almonds and your walnuts and your lettuce and your avocados, somehow they're the fucking problem. They're not. We are. And until we grasp that, we can blame and sit here with all of these left bro podcasters and the Pod Save America and the Midas Touches and talk about, oh, it's the cost of eggs. It's the cost of gas. Fuck it is. No, it's not. Why haven't we had a woman president? Why did we go from a black president to the most corrupt white man in the history of our country? Why did the majority of white people, the only demographic that didn't vote for Harris, and that same demographic didn't vote for Zohran Mamdani? Because we're the problem. Because there is a chunk of this country that is afraid that the white majority is going away. And they're going to kick and scream like little children, like Santa Claus taking away your present, because they think that their traditional family values is going away. And this country and the Republican Party has done a good job of indoctrinating a bunch of white men. And just me saying this, leave this country, Lib, that's indoctrination. It's a fact. Every sentence, this is how it goes. Once upon a time, freedom, God, Jesus, freedom, freedom, Second Amendment. I went on vacation to Hawaii. Freedom, Second Amendment, freedom, freedom, Bethel Eagles, freedom, the greatest in the world. This is how their brains are working because they don't have critical thinking. They've been indoctrinated. And for them to be woke, which means actually seeing this country for what it is, it's breaking their brains because they've been lied to their entire life, and their version of American exceptionalism is bullshit. And they know it is, and they don't want it to be. Because they want their whiteness to keep them at the top of the food chain. Have yourself a white day.
Brothers murder in South Nashville. Edgar Lopez is charged.
Well, see, there you have it, man. See, that's the only video I already need to play, but he told the truth. Now, and the Jake could say, oh, man, that ain't true. That ain't the problem. Man, they know they are the problem. That's the point. 2/3 nigga come and say, oh man, that ain't the problem. It's just need to pull up self up by the bootstrap and all this shit. You go on X and you got these Sambo Jakes that think they since Esau giving them money to come against us, to come against their own people that they're accomplishing something. And that's why 2/3 have to go, man. Now Esau is saying for a fact that he know he is the problem, along with all the Edomites. And it goes from crime to drugs. The list goes on and on and on. But they have the power. They have the media. They can paint the picture of Jake being the worst person on the face of the earth to hide their crimes and their wickedness. But we know, coming to this truth and this faith, we know the truth, man. And that's the reason why this truth is so beautiful. The Lord woke us up, man, to understand this is the time, man. It ain't 20, 30, 40 years from now, man. The Lord is moving things fast. And he's unveiling all the wickedness that Esau's done and showing it to them. This is why you're going to be judged. This is why the Lord is coming back to put you in hardcore bondage. We're seeing it. We're seeing their tongue falling upon themselves because they know they have the answer for this, man. They know. You go in these stores and Esau look at you funny. They clutch your purse. They grab their back pocket like you're gonna take a wallet. They look behind you, and if you're in the line, they look behind you, the corner of their eye, trying to see if you're trying to do something to them. They're guilty, man, and they know in their spirit that we treated these people so wrong. We might have to answer to it. We might have to answer for what we did to them. And continue on. Let's check this video out.
So people ask me all the time why I talk about only white people and I never talk about other races. Well, first of all, it's not my fucking problem. But second of all, I'm white. Why would I not talk about this? 5.3 million of crimes committed by white people. We make up almost 75% of all the crimes in our country. Why the fuck would I not talk about it? We're only 59.7% of the population. We do 75% of all the crimes. Also, I'm tired of hearing black people commit 50% of the crimes and they're 13% of the population. Well, this is violent crimes alone, and we're almost double in violent crimes. Actually, we're almost 65 to 70% of all the violent crimes, and we're only 59.7% of the population. Let's look at all the crime subsets. We got assault, winning, theft, winning, counterfeiting, winning, gambling, winning, auto theft, winning. White people lead in every subset. Oh, but one, right? So with white people leading in every subset in crime except for murder. But remember, when we have to keep in mind all of the statistics, right? Let's go over all the statistics. So let's look at all the statistics, right? Black men are 7.5 times more likely to be wrongly accused of murder than white men. 8.5 times more likely to be wrongly accused of rape. 19 times more likely to be wrongly accused of smokes. 3.5 times more likely to be wrongly accused of sexual offenses, right? So when we're looking at arrests only and not convictions, which, by the way, according to the United States Sentencing Commission, white people lead in all convictions as well. But when we're looking at arrests, by the way, this is 2020, not even the 2019 Table 43A that Charlie Kirk and the rest of the white supremacists used. This is even more updated stats from the Department of Justice. So why would I focus on the black community when white people are doing this much of the crimes? 5.3 million. If we lower our crime stats, the entire country is a better place. So why would I talk about the black community? What's the fucking point? Why can't I just talk about the white community? What's wrong with that? I don't understand.
Because they created a narrative and painted a picture that black people, so-called black men, are monsters. That's why it's all over your news media, man. Now check this out. It says a right-wing Indiana racist Johnny Knuckles has been arrested for brutally, you see it, a 2-year-old toddler, hospitalizing her. And you see right here, it's in my DNA. This is what he posted on his page, man. So these Edomites, who we say they are, man, the Lord created them to be the wicked. And they're showing themselves to be the wicked all the time. But they paint us as being the ones as crime, propaganda of us just being the face of crime, man. All over your news, all you see is a Jake doing something. They don't bring up all the news going on with these these Edomites doing all this these crimes and drug trafficking. They don't do that, man. They always put Jacobs with the guns, and they always do that on the news, man. All your local news, that's all they put on there, because that what keeps people watching. Because the face of crime is not them. If they was putting Edomites on there as what they doing in the streets, no one will watch it, because they'll get fatigued. They'll call it they'll be fatigued on watching themselves being the face of crime. They wouldn't watch it. As long as they put on their local news that Jake is the face of crime, they continue to have you watching it, man. While they have Edomites opening business, have these dogs on there and they're kissing their dogs. They rescue the dog. This is in every local area, man. But while they hide their hand, they're doing all the wickedness in the earth. Now check this out.
Systems that most people don't even realize. Now, pay attention to this story. On one side, there's George Santos, a former congressman. He lied, cheated, and stole over $500,000 from campaign funds, donor money, and even people's identities. He was sentenced to 7 years in federal prison, but his sentence was commuted by Donald Trump. He's already out. On the other side, there's Willie Simmons. Back in 1982, he stole just $9. For that, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole, and he's still there over 40 years. $500,000 stolen, freedom. $9 stolen, life behind bars. Same country, same system, completely different outcomes, and they still call this justice. Until we face the truth that the system protects the powerful, not ordinary people, we'll keep watching men like George Santos walk free while men like Willie Simmons rot behind bars. That isn't justice, that's America, and it's time we stop pretending it's anything else.
小红书
Now you see how wicked that is, man. To put a man in prison for life for $9, man. And that's what they call justice. And this is Babylon the Great, man. This is Babylon the Great. America, for what we know it, is Babylon the Great. We are prisoners of slaves, man. We're not prisoners of slaves. We are prisoners of of war here in Babylon the Great, man. To the point that even these special needs look down on us, man. This is crazy.
Someone watch his mouth. He's using derogatory terms.
He's not my son.
Whoever he is.
He's a special needs.
Yeah.
You cannot make him stop.
He can stop saying that. How did he learn the word?
He learned it from people at school.
So why he
His
using
family
it?
doesn't talk like that.
So why he using it against other people?
He's special needs, sir.
But he
You
made.
understand that?
So why he never call me? Come on, man, get out of here.
You don't understand.
I don't know.
That's a genetic disorder.
But he's smart enough to know.
It's not right.
But he knows where to use the word.
Okay,
And
leave me alone.
to use it
Leave me
too.
alone.
Then get out of here.
Anything. I said Mickey Mouse. And Mickey Mouse.
And see, that's right. They taught him to call brown people. I say brown people, which they label us as black people. He knew what to use that word to, who to use that word to. It's lucky. And that goes to show you that somebody's teaching him that. And it more likely was probably her. But continuing on.
People see equality as oppression. The reason why is because many white people have ancestral wealth because of the exploitation of minorities. For instance, the system of slavery, or when white colonizers came into the United States and kicked Native people off their land or committed a genocide. This has led to wealth, power, and privilege historically existing for white people. And because of this, many of us have been taught from birth that our white skin means something more. But if everybody has access to equal opportunities, if everybody can climb the status rank, then what does that leave us with? Nothing. Because racism relies on the feeling of superiority, and white people know that if everybody's afforded the same opportunities, we are going to start falling behind. Because many of us have been afforded wealth, power, and privilege, again, simply because of our skin color. We haven't had to work for it. And that's why many white people perceive equality for all as being the oppression of white people. They see it as a direct attack on our livelihood, which is why white supremacy absolutely has to go. Because a system that is built on supremacy and hierarchy is not a fair, just, or accurate system at all. If you only have what you have because of oppressing people, if that system is dismantled, that doesn't mean you are then oppressed. It means that you have to stop being the oppressor.
And that's something these Edomites will never want to stop doing, being the oppressor. See, their riches have made them a god in the earth. That all these nations, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Hamites, all the nations, they fear Esau. They look to him as a god, man. You even had these Indians in Elam worshiping DT. And see, if you call them out for who they really are, the devil, they would think something wrong with you. But we see the oppression that they use to the point where if you want anything here in Babylon the Great, just say for example, like they call for reparations, people they're putting people in the uproar, man, because they know that if they gave you a way to, like she said, get ahead of them, they will fall behind, and we would always be in front of them. And that's the reason why the Lord is going to flip the table on Esau, put him in captivity, and put us in rulership. And the scriptures foretold us of Esau being the end of the world and Jacob being the beginning of it that followeth. And this is what we see in a transition of power. Now check this out.
Three ways that white people are racist, often without realizing. Number one, the first way you're racist without knowing it is by thinking that everyone has an equal playing field. You're someone who subscribes to the American dream and you truly believe that Black people are only in the position that they are in because of a lack of effort. That is racist. Because again, there are systemic barriers to the success of people of color. Number two, not having any friends who aren't white. Probably thinking, well, how is this racist? Because you're not communicating and learning from people of color. Because you're not interacting with people who are different from you, you're not learning and you're probably continuing to perpetuate those biases. To me, all white friend groups are weird and suggest that you cannot maintain a relationship with a person of color, probably because of your ignorance. And the third way is by assuming that any successful person of color only did so because of DEI. DEI makes it so people of color get opportunities, because otherwise people would be racist and withhold them. It has nothing to do with their talent or ability. Racism is the default. So if you don't deconstruct your own internalized biases, you are going to perpetuate racism in the US.
And this is the gist of everything, man. That the racist biases that Esau has, it's embedded in them. You can't change. They can't change that, because if they change that, they know that they are finished, man. They're done, and that's why the Lord is coming to bring them out of power, man. Esau would never get to a point where he'll feel like I need to be equal to Jake, because they know that they are not, and they have always felt like, long as the elites, I say, long as they can put someone under the regular Joe Blow six-pack Edomites to look down upon, they will continue to rule. And they've used that playbook forever, man. Long as, we can get houses, we can do this, and these niggas got to pull their selves up by the wayside, man, and get it on their own, man. But let's get to the scriptures, man. Because Esau has made himself a god in the earth, and he's no god. His pride has puffed him up, man. This is Obadiah 1 and verse 1. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus say Yahweh Hashem Yahushua concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. An ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. And see, the Lord is stirring up the nations to fight, man. You see that the DT ain't run into Venezuela yet, because Russia's there, China's there, North Korea's there, Iran is there. This is the Lord stirring up the heathens for battle. 2, it says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, that are greatly despised. And see, this man is greatly despised, man. Everybody's licking their chops to get back at Esau, man. Especially here in Babylon the Great. Everybody's licking their chops to get back at the West, I say. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? See that? Esau has been in power for so long that he feels like no one can bring him down, man. And that's why Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is coming to bring him down. Though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, said Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. So even though Esau is high and mighty, he's puffed up with great pride, it's all for a purpose, man. The Lord has him puffed up to bring him down just like he did Pharaoh. See, Esau don't know that he has been put in place to be brung down to exalt Yahweh Bashem Yahushua's name, man. And that's why we don't know Genesis don't have a clue what's going on, man, because they're trying to make make it seem like Esau is going to be saved by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. The Lord said, I'm going to bring you down. Let's talk about all the Edomites, man. This is Proverbs 16 and verse 18. It says, pride goeth before destruction. See, now that the pride has reached the tip top of, I would say the tip top of the pridefulness you can probably be. This man is more prideful than Pharaoh was, man. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. And see, that's what's happening, man. This man is about to fall. And we're seeing it, man, in real time. He is set to fall. And his fall is going to be heard throughout the nations, man. Everyone is going to know that Esau fell. This is 1 Samuel's. Let me get 1 Samuel 6. And that ain't what I wanted. Was it 1 Samuel 6? No, that ain't it. I ain't 1 Samuel 6. I think it's what is it? The 2 in verse 6. Let me see if that's it. Yes, it. Lucky I know. This is 1 Samuel's 2 in verse 6. It says, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. And see, Esau's going to be brung down to the sides of the pit, man. His rulership is going to crumble right before his eyes, man. And what does Job say? They will see their destruction. Verse 7, it says, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua maketh poor and maketh rich. And see, these Edomites didn't take account that the Lord put them in power, man. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. They didn't take account that the Lord puffed them up, gave them the rulership over the earth. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua maketh poor and maketh rich. And see, the Lord put them in power over us because we sinned against Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And now he's soon to be brung down, and he's going to put us in power. He bringeth low, and he lifteth up. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill. See that? We're going to be lifted up from the dust, man. Coming from the bottom to the top, man. Jake loved them songs like that, man. Drake got a song started from the bottom. Now I'm here. He considered himself on top. And that's what's going to happen to the children of Israel, man. He says to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For thy pillars of the earth are Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and he hath set the world upon them. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness. And see, that's what they're going to be casted down, man, into darkness, man. Never to be rulers again, never be in power again. They're not going to be able to. The scripture tell you they're not going to rule the face of the earth with cities, so they're not going to have no power over the earth, man. Ain't gonna be no more WalMarts and Ford Motor Cars and all these car lots and all these corporate companies that's named after them. These streets named after Esau. None of these names are gonna be in the earth anymore, man. They give you got a last name of your last name is your slave owner. All these Esau chose some stupid ass names as last names. Cox and Johnson's. Picking names as dicks and shit, man. What sense do that make? That's crazy. Verse 8 again, it says, he riseth up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill. He set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's, and he hath set the world upon them. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness. For by strength shall no man prevail. The adversaries of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall be broken to pieces. And that's as soon to happen, man. Definitely be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king and exalt the horn of his anointed. See, he's going to exalt the horn of his anointed, man. And that's when the Lord gives us that power in the earth, man, to be rulers in the earth. And that's the whole globe, man. The Lord is going to give us power over the nations as an inheritance. And we're going to be joint heirs with our power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. And he was given the heathen as a inheritance. So we're going to be joint heirs with him, and we're going to be ruling over the heathen as well, man. This is Proverbs 18 and verse 11. It says the rich man's wealth is his strong city. See, the rich man's wealth is his strong city, and that's his power, man. Esau's ruled the world by his money and his military might, and that's what got him wealthy. Is the backs off the backs of the children of Israel, man. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and as an high wall in his own conceit. Before destruction, the heart of man is haughty, and before honor is humility. And see, we know this man will never be humble, man. And that's us. We've been humbled, man. Seeing what what happened to us and why we in the position that we in now. This is humbling for us, man. Haughtiness goeth before destruction. Humility precedes honor. Good News Translation, it says, no one is respected unless he is humble. Arrogant people are on the way to ruin, and that's plain. Arrogant people are on the way to ruin, and we know who's gonna be ruined and never be in power again, man. His own people is calling themselves out, man. This is what we did in the earth, man. They're calling it out, man. These videos was Edomites saying it. This is Isaiah 45 and verse 6. It says, that they may know from the rising of the sun from the west that there is none beside me. I'm Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and there is none else. So there's no other God besides Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Even though Esau goes and rules over these nations, it presents itself to be a God to the point that he's going to microchip everyone, have everyone tracked, have you eating food that is made out of chemicals and garbage and bugs and shit, ruling over you with the iron fist, because he's soon to be ruled over with an iron fist. He wants to put a brain interface in a brain interface. He want to put an interface, a computer interface in your brain. He wants to present himself as being God over you, that you can't eat unless you go to him. You can't exist in society unless you go to him. This is Esau, man. Verse 7, it says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and I create evil. I, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, do these things. See, what Esau is trying to do is trying to defy the Most High power. That he's claiming to do the same thing the Lord can do. They can control your mind and control the things you eat and to control the way you act. This is what he's doing, man. And see, when he comes down, he's going to know that this is it. This is it for him. And the Lord is going to put the children of Israel in power to rule forever. And it won't never be another rulership of the Edomites. Never again. This is their time, man. And it's quickly coming to an end. This is Luke 16 and verse 19. It says, there was a certain man, it was a certain rich man, which was clothed in purple and fine linen, fared sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate, full of sores, and desired to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. So this is a metaphor of a parable of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh showing you Esau being a rich man and Jacob being Lazarus, which we are Lazarus right now, man. We have to get crumbs from these Edomites' table. And shit, they barely want to give you that. But back to the story. You seeing the dogs licking the sores as the other nations licking the wounds. You got all these liquor stores that's owned by these other heathen. You got all these gas stations owned by the heathen in your own neighborhood. You got all these nail shops and hair salons and hair stores by the other nations. They're licking the sores of Jake, man. They know we are downtrodden and don't have no power to do anything. Continuing on verse 22, it says, and it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into to Abraham's bosom. And a rich man died and was buried. See that? It's a difference what happened to the rich man and what happened to Lazarus. Lazarus was taken immediately by the angel to Abraham's bosom. But the rich man was buried. And this is spiritual, man. Because this is what's going to happen. The children of Israel are going to be beamed up into those chariots, and Esau is going to be destroyed. But back to it, verse 24. It says, and in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeing Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. And Christians will say this is him, the rich man in hell. No, this is spiritually, metaphorically saying that Esau is going to come down and be in a low state. He's going into hell, where he's going to be low on a totem pole. And Jacob is going to be in power. He says, and he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue. See that? And that's basically Esau crying out for the Lord to let Jacob give him mercy. Because when we in power, Esau will not get mercy. Scripture tell you he will receive no mercy. He gave no mercy. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Let me see if I can find it real quick. James, yes, it's right here. James 2 and 13. Real quick, and I'll go right back. James 2 in verse 13, it says, For he shall have judgment without mercy, that have showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiced against judgment. See, he didn't show any mercy. That's why the Lord is not going to have us show him any mercy, man. Verse 24, one more time, it says, and he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue. For I am tormented in this flame. See that? He's going to be in, worst case, man. Now, he's not going to be in a physical hell. He's going to be in torment, man. Well, he's not going to be in rulership. He's going to be a slave in hardcore bondage. But Abraham said, son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. See that in his rulership, in his kingdom, he received all the good. He didn't give us anything good, but we received everything that was evil. I showed you a video where a guy would say he stole $9. This other guy stole damn near $1 million or something, and he got life. And this other guy that stole millions of dollars, he free. So you received all the goods, but we received nothing but evil. It says, but now he is comforted and thou art tormented. See, the roles are going to be switched. And beside all this, between us and you, there is a great go fix. See, it's a great go fix, meaning that he's not going to switch over to be an Israelite. We're not going to be able to switch over to be an Edomite. Whatever you are, according to your father, is what you are. And this can't be changed. Let me see if I can get that real quick in the blue letter. See, it says a great go fix 16. Let me get down to it. One second. Gulf. A gap opening. Chasm. Cash. A gulf.
Chasm.
Chasm. Let me make sure I got that understanding on chasm. A deep fissure in the earth, rock, or another surface. This is it right here. Form of obsolete primary, gap or yawn, chasm, vacancy, gulf. A deep inlet of the sea, almost surrounded by land, with a narrow mouth, deep ravine, chasm, oh, it's large difference, two people. There we go. A large difference or division between two people, or groups, or between viewpoint, concepts, or situation. See, it's a difference, but it's a division between the nations, man. As it was in the womb, two nations will be in our womb, and one will be separated from the other. That's that great go fixed. We can't switch over to be Edomites, and Esau can't switch over to be Israelites. It says, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot. See, so we couldn't switch over to being an Edomite, man. It says, neither can they pass to us. See, you can't go from being you won't be able to switch over to be an Israelite if you're Edomite in any other nation. So that goes to show you that, like the apostles always saying, that we don't know what the Lord going to do, if He's going to want to bring back the Edomites as being another nation or create another nation of people, but they will not come and they will not be reincarnated after that 1,000 years as being Israelites. They will be another nation, another group of people. Or they might, I don't know exactly, like the apostle said, we don't know exactly what the Lord going to do with that. But continuing on, it says, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence. It says, then said he, I pray thee therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send me, like a send of him, to my father's house, for I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them. So he basically gonna say he wanted somebody to go and testify to his brother. It says, least they also come into this place of torment. See, all of them gonna go down. And Abraham gonna tell him right here. He says, and it's basically going to go back and tell his family members that basically what you don't want to come where I'm at. But they don't have any choice, man. It's already set. Abraham saith unto him, they have Moses and the prophets. Let them hear them. See that? So basically, you got the scriptures. They hear the man of the Lord. They click on our videos. They come up to the camps. He says, and he said, nay, Father Abraham, but if one went unto them from the death, from the dead, they will repent. See that? This is what the rich man was saying. If somebody would come from the dead and show them that they was basically going off or doing wrong, that's not going to happen, man, because it's not written for it to happen. So he told them, he said, they ain't going to repent, man. But he wanted them to go from the dead and show them that this is true. And we speaking through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua that this is true. It says, and he said unto him, if they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead. See that? If they ain't listen to the men of the Lord, they ain't going to listen if somebody came from the dead, man. So we know that Esau is not going to repent from the wickedness and the crimes that he's committed against Jacob. And that's why the Lord is going to do what he said he was going to do to him, Obadiah 1:18. So Lord Williams edify. I'm in it there. Shalom. Shalom.